software tools that First Solar has been developing, it's not because we want to be a software company. It's because we make a photovoltaic module that's a little different to others that are in the marketplace, and it's very important to us that we have tools that can represent the features of our module. So I'm going to talk about a few things. First of all, the first question we also always ask of software: what is the power of these software tools? And what I'm going to show you is tools that can compare alternative configurations and alternative technologies and alternative timings, alternative sites for a solar development, all in a matter of a few minutes. So this is a very powerful feature of our tools. The powerful feature is only valuable if it overcomes a constraint we had before. So why would we care about this power? We care about this power because it overcomes the constraint we always had before, which was if you wanted to evaluate a utility-scale solar development, it was previously necessary to engage an engineering team and really spend some dollars on it. And that required you to make some very early stage decisions, which maybe you weren't really ready to make because you didn't know enough about the trade-offs in that particular location, that particular timing yet. So we now overcome this constraint of having to spend engineering dollars too early in a project design. Okay, the third question, there's only 4 questions, this is the third one. So in the past, when we had this constraint, what did we do about it? Well, we used rules of thumb, we made our best guess at project configuration. Should I include that field or not? Should I do a high DC to AC, a low DC to AC? Fixed tilt tracker. You know, there were rules of thumb, we did our best. Our industry is changing too fast to use rules of thumb. You really need tools that can properly evaluate the different options. Rules of thumb that were valid a year ago may not be valid today. And the final of my 4 questions is, okay, now we have these tools, we don't have that constraint anymore. How should we do things now? And what I'm going to tell you is what you should do is evaluate your different technologies, evaluate a lot of different plant configurations, timing, site boundaries, etc., without spending any engineering dollars, and keep an open mind, because as our industry changes so fast, you may be surprised at which configurations turn out to be the best for your project. So prepare to be surprised. Okay, so that's the philosophical overview of why we're doing these tools. So what are the tools? The first one, maybe some of you have seen being demoed over here, is PlantAdvise. It's a very fast tool that uses mathematical models, linear regressions, weather data, and other information to instantly give you LCOE and NPV projections for your site. As you drag the mouse, you can see those numbers change. There's no lag time, there's no delay. You can change the timing, change the DC to AC ratio, change whatever you like. You instantly start to see the sensitivities of your project. That's PlantAdvise. Very good for early stage project evaluation, where you have a lot of different things you can still change. The second tool is called PlantDesign. This takes the concept of PlantAdvise to the next step. It gives you a full 8760 energy prediction. It gives you a proper layout for your arrays and inverters. It gives you a bill of materials for the project, and it calculates a project schedule for engineering, when the interconnect date needs to be, construction schedule, commissioning, etc. It does all of this in about maybe 15 minutes of the user's time. You end up with what we call a 4-pack. You got the layout, the energy prediction, the project schedule, and the cost estimate in about 15 minutes. And really, for utility scale projects, no one else can do this. Again, what this allows you is to evaluate more options earlier in the project life cycle without investing a lot of engineering dollars in a particular rule of thumb or a particular guess of what the best configuration can be. You can look at them all, you can understand the project sensitivities. The third one I want to talk about, and so we demoed PlantAdvise over here, we also have PlantPredict over here. PlantPredict is a professional grade energy prediction tool bankable energy prediction for the project, and it's really for use at the final stages of contracting and committing energy production numbers. Plant Predict, very easy to use, particularly for First Solar modules, where other third-party tools are really a lot of work and much harder to model. Rounding out the suite, we have Plant View, which is an O&M tool, so we can actually see how the plant is performing through its life and be able to make changes, make fixes if there are any issues. So that's the overview of the 4 tools, and with that I would like to move to the next step. Let's actually move to a demonstration of what the tools can do, and here's David Spieldener, whose team created most of these tools to demo what they can do. David?
Yep.
Thank you, Brian. Really appreciate the overview, and I appreciate everybody coming for this demonstration. So what we're going to show today is the PlantAdvise tool, which we're also demoing. You're doing personal demonstrations over there, but this is a demonstration for all of you to just get a glimpse at what we can do. So PlantAdvise is free. That's something that Brian forgot to mention, is these tools we're developing are free because what we're trying to do is we're trying to help the industry with the problems that we've seen in our development activities. So this is our contribution to the industry. So like I said, PlantAdvise is available on firstsolar.com. This is the landing page. You can self-register as either a basic user or as an advanced user. If you're a basic user, you don't have the full functionality that's available within the tool. So I'm going to do this demonstration as an advanced user. All right, so being in Las Vegas, we're not too far from where First Solar built their very first utility scale EPC power plant. We built that plant just south of Boulder City, Nevada. So I'm going to choose Boulder City as my location. You'll notice we have the familiar Google Maps interface. So if you're familiar with Google Maps, you should be able to navigate around very easily. We use the Google Maps API for the search, so you can search on things like building names, city names, zip codes, that kind of thing. The next thing that you're going to want to do is draw your plant boundary. So we're going to focus our attention over here just off of I-95. To draw, what you do is you click the pencil that's up here in the upper right-hand corner. It's now enabled. And you can tell it's enabled because we got the little yellow dot. You click the corners of your boundary, and then you double-click in order to lock it in. You can tell it's locked in because the color changes to this little red color. Now, just as fast as I double-clicked, we did all the calculations that are in this tool. That's the speed that Brian was talking about and what's really important in this tool. So, using Google Maps, we're able to tell that this is about 2,000 acres. This is a gigantic site. We use the MediaNorm 7.0 database to get the GHI, DHI, relative humidity, and average temperature in this location. We know, based upon the ground coverage ratio and our efficiency roadmap, which is baked into this tool, that we can fit about 622 megawatts DC on this plant. And using our standard 1.2, I think we're at 1.25 DC-AC ratio, you got about a 500 megawatt power plant. It's a pretty good size. I think we're interested. Using the linear equation that Brian was talking about in our Plant Predict software that's demonstrated over there, we calculated as quickly as I double-clicked, that plant will produce 1.1 terawatt hours of electricity in year 1, or 26 terawatt hours of electricity over the life of the plant. So the reason why that's important is because that's the way you're going to make money. You're going to sell that electricity. The next part of this tool gets into the financial calculations, because as interesting as the energy numbers are, it really gets only interesting when you put dollar signs in front of it. So this plant right now is modeling with a 10 cent per kilowatt hour PPA. I'm going to drop that down. I believe we're at 6 cents per kilowatt hour. I'm going to leave it at the standard $1.25 system cost. So that's the total system cost that it's going to take in order to build the power plant. We're going to leave our discount rate, or our weighted average cost of capital, at 5%. And we're going to lower our O&M costs down to $12. And that's $12 per kilowatt on an annual basis. You can see in this screen right here, the colors just changed green in the first solar column. We've got an LCOE of 4.6 cents per kilowatt hour. So we calculated the LCOE just that fast with just those inputs. That's the key, is we want to make this quick, simple, and easy for your early stage developers. And our net present value on this plant is $23 million. That's your net present value. Now to break down the financial analysis a little bit more, with that PPA price, the plant, over the life of the plant, is going to produce $1.6 billion worth of revenue, but it's going to cost you $778 million to construct it. Your O&M costs are going to be $186 million over the life of the plant. So all in, your total costs are just short of $1 billion, which, if you remember, the revenue is $1.6 billion. So our net cash flow on this plant is $644 million. Because our weighted average cost of capital is 5%, or our discount rate, those discounted cash flows come in at just over $23 million. Now what's important here is, like Brian was saying, you want to be able to evaluate different scenarios. So one scenario that a lot of people like to evaluate is, what's the difference between a fixed tilt and a tracker system? So I can just click this tracker option up here with my mouse. There we go. We're almost there. Okay, got it. So you can see the economics change radically when I switch over to tracker. The reason why is tracker energy gain. Especially in a very sunny location like Boulder City, Nevada, the extra energy you get from your tracker system is going to really help the financials of your plant. Now, I didn't change my system cost, which that's one of the things that will also change when I go to a tracker system, is my total system cost is going to change. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to adjust my capital costs up to, we're going to increase, we still have a profitable plant. Well, maybe I'm not able to get that weighted average cost of capital. Maybe my discount rate is a little higher. So you can see, oh, you increase your discount rate by 1%. Look at the impact that has on your net present value. So you can see how the levers in your system really do make a difference. All right, so once I get the plant the way that I want it, I'm pretty happy with this. It's $41 million NPV. I can email myself a report. So as quick as I click on that, it packages all that information up into a PDF report, and it sends it to my email address so I can show it to all my colleagues and stakeholders. One of the other things that we have is we have a document package, a full engineering document package that's right there. We also have a KMZ download. Well, let's just come up here and we'll look at the report.
Hit return. They've got to clear that OK box.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, here's the email of my energy capacity assessment. When I open that up, the attachments right over here. Mouse is killing me.
What's the problem?
All right, we're just going to go back to them. Here's the downloadable document package. So this is a document package that helps you understand very simply how to incorporate First Solar technology into your design. We have all kinds of things like typical array drawings, how to do a geotech study, how to do a topographical study, a hydrology study, which is very helpful. We also have some basic drawings, like a reference plant, what your array should look like there. We also have some electrical drawings. So once again, just the kind of stuff that makes it easy for you to take a First Solar design and a First Solar product and incorporate it into your design. We also allow the ability to download your site boundary as a KMZ file. So you click on that, it'll download it as a KMZ file. And you can save that and come back at a later time and bring this power plant back up and continue working on it. So, like I said, tool's completely free. It's available on firstsolar.com. It's available to everybody. You just have to register. We've been using this tool now for a year and a half, and it's really helped us streamline our process. We continue to roll out new functionality, so we hope that everybody gets a chance to enjoy it. One last thing I do want to promote is we have First Solar trivia games set up around our booth. If you haven't done the First Solar trivia game yet, I strongly encourage you. It's a lot of fun. And the other great part about it is it will get you entered into a drawing for our drone. So the drone that's hanging right up there, I'm not sure what brand the drone is, but it's lots of fun. So please take the time, do the game, enjoy it, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your SPI. Thank you for your time and attention.